15 years is a lot of requests from a lot of boys that have some peak fantasies, things that my perverted brain could never come up with. And I'm like, you want to what? Okay.
Girls.
Right? Like, give me 20 minutes. Let me see if we can have it. We can have it.
Yeah. Welcome back to Muse on the Mic. I'm Riley.
And I'm Emily. Thanks for joining us on another great episode of Muse on the Mic. So happy you're here. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, follow us on all of our social media below. And you absolutely have to join the Patreon because that's where we put the even naughtier episodes. And season 2 is looking like it's about to be extremely scandalous. So, on that note, let's roll with this one. What are we talking about today, Riley?
We're going to talk about private events, corporate events, events that take place at the spa that I don't think the majority of the public know take place. And so kind of planting the seed, guys, like you can hold events at Muse and we'll tell you about some of the kind of standout things that have happened at Muse that we want to share with you guys.
This is one of my favorite parts of our business because it is so fun. Like we almost get to like jump into like a party planner role almost in some respects. And in others, it's like this like mastermind of like sexual fantasies we get to create for people. There's so many different angles and so many different requests we've had over the years. I mean, 15 years is a lot of requests from a lot of boys that have some peak fantasies, things that my perverted brain could never come up with. And I'm like, you want to what? Okay.
Girls.
Right? Like, give me 20 minutes. Let me see if we can have it. We can have it.
Yeah. And you know, I love with planning these events, sometimes it's like a collaborative effort between Emily and I. And always she takes the role, which is funny because in our business practice lives, I handle more of the banking, like accounting side of things. But in planning these events, it's always on Emily. I'm like, Emily, figure it out. How much is this going to cost? And it's always mind blowing. But she like puts it together. She knows what's happening. She's on the numbers.
Which is shocking because, like, okay, I never failed math, but I hated maths when I was a kid. I was like, this shit's ridiculous. But yeah, the maths fall on me. And you know what? It's fun because, I mean, even that is a bit of a challenge, right? Like, it sets us off our routine and off our game a little bit where we got a challenge now. We got to figure out not just the math and the dollars and cents. We got to figure out the safety, the liability, the legality, all the things. And before you know it, we come up with these like incredible little like concoctions of experiences and fantasy fulfillment that is just, oh, it's so much fun. And my favorite part is the anticipation while it's happening and we're waiting to hear afterwards. I'm like, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear how it's going.
It's part excitement of how's it going, and part of it's anxiety. Like, is it going to go the way it's planned, or is it going to go smoothly? And one experience that comes to mind, like recently, that we're pre-thinking, planning about currently, is this lovely gentleman wants to close the doors at Muse, so stop business essentially, and have 50 muses. 50 guys, 50. To me, this is wild. I know Emily was saying the other day, she's like, I can't even compute this in my brain. What are we doing with 50 women? And the challenge of, we don't necessarily have 50 women on staff. So it takes a bit of planning. We're going to have to call in some, former muses that we have good relationships with to be like, you want to come to work for a couple hours? But these kind of events that are mind blowing and like, take a lot of planning are the most exciting ones. I'm excited for that one.
I'm so pumped for that one. I mean, this Jen in particular has some very creative ideas. He's propositioned us with some like this that seem like, ooh, this is a hefty challenge. Like, can we pull it off? And then we do, and it's freaking phenomenal. The feedback from, I mean, he's over the moon, but the girls are always like, oh my God, that was so much fun. And like, that's the best thing we could hear from them, right? Being like, when's the next one? And I'm like, easy there. Hold your horses, girls. That took a lot of work to get organized. But I mean, when you book the entire venue, you get free
Mhm.
reign of the place. So you're not restricted just to the rooms. You don't
Right.
have to be disturbed by like walk-in traffic or seeing an, privacy, seeing another guest or anything like that. It is your space for the day,
Mhm.
for the 4 hours, for the 6 hours, whatever it is you booked. And like you said, I'm sure some people don't even think it's possible, but to those in the know, they make good use of it. And we've had
Mhm.
some legendary ones. Everything from these kind of private events where it's a very specific kind of fantasy or I want to use every room kind of like musical chairs
Mhm.
dynamic. People that are a bit more exhibitionists that want to be able to have free reign of the hallway up and down in the
Yeah.
lobby, all kinds of fun things. We've had some funky characters with clearly the bank account to be able to entertain their
Mhm.
fulfillment, which top tier living, right? You're living your
Yeah.
best life in this regard. But I personally love when we get like an email inquiry for a bachelor party. I find bachelor
Mhm.
parties super fun. It's it's very different for the girls because it kind of puts them a little bit into like stripper mode in the sense that there's a bit of mingling and like chit
Mhm.
chat and like, sauntering about and like flirting with the boys. And yet none of the pressure because everyone's already got a sale. You don't have to sell them on a
Mhm.
dance or anything like that, but you can literally just socialize like it's a party. You can just be a party girl and that's kind of fun, right? I mean, we don't obviously have alcohol at the spot to really do a bachelor party that way, but often they do dinner and something before they come to us and then they hit the nightclubs after. And it's like,
Yeah.
again, top tier.
It's a
Top tier.
perfect
Sort
part
of
of a
reminds
party.
me.
And we've even had some gentlemen, like international gentlemen, that have come in to have their bachelor party at Muse. And I think it's like,
Yeah.
pat on our backs. And it's like, they're coming to Muse all the way from, it's awesome.
Right, overseas. It's very
Mhm.
cool. It's I mean, it's from a business perspective, it's solid business to do. Everyone's
Mhm.
getting paid top dollar for their time. We get a guarantee because we're not usually in a world where we take deposits, and with a
Mhm.
private event booking, you're obviously slapping down a deposit to book the time. That means we're closing off business in general. No one can book appointments.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not even on the schedule. It just may say private event. It may just be blank and nobody knows. It's none of everybody's business what's going on. Um, but when there's a bachelor party, it's usually a big group, right? We're not talking like three dudes. We're talking like a 15 kind of guy, 12 kind of guys, like the whole vibe. So there's sessions, the music is louder. We get a real party vibe coming on. There's refreshments, there's girls in and out, and everyone's chit-chatting and all the stuff's going on. Celebrating the groom, of course, right? We usually just spoil him rotten with a mixer for sure. He needs
Mhm.
candy coated for sure. And if
Mhm.
everyone's bored at the end, everyone wants to jump in and everyone touches dick, go for it because it's his day. It's all about him. It's his last hurrah. Let's make it fucking fabulous for him. And I love the messages from the best man afterwards. It was like he had the best time ever. Like,
Oh, good.
yeah, bro.
It's so awesome.
It's super fun.
It makes me think though, because I remember back when we had our Vaughn location, we started using Vaughn, just to give you some like behind the scenes information. We started using Vaughn as that location. Like, what events can we throw there? What can we use the space for beyond the typical? And I know a lot of people always wondered, like, why do they have that Vaughn location? It doesn't seem like it's very busy. Um, Little did they know we used it for different uses.
Hey, welcome back to Just the Tip. So today's topic is a really sophisticated topic. So we're not going to go too deep here. We're going to do a real shallow dive, just the tip. And we're talking about tantric sex or even tantric touch. Tantric meaning woven together. I found that to be a fun fact. What's the purpose of having tantric sex other than having a new experience? Well, I think it's really important to note that the typical sexual encounter lasts 3 to 5 minutes. Guys, this is terrible.
If this tip isn't enough, subscribe to Patreon for the whole thing.
There were so many fun things we did. I mean, it became our ultimate meeting spot. It
Yeah.
became our favorite place to do photo shoots. But in the meantime, it was our favorite venue to book these private events because the layout was a little different. I think the extra like little seating room was perfect for that
Mhm.
too. And the lobby was very like expansive. So there was just lots more space, lots more seating opportunities, a little more social, I guess is the word I'm looking
Mhm.
for. where it just had the setup for that kind of stuff. And I'd always giggle when we'd see those comments online in reviews or whatever, being like, this place is closed, this many days, or why are they closed all weekend or something? And I'm like, little do you know, such and such company is throwing a Christmas bonus party for
Right.
such and such sales guys, and they're all coming in over the weekend to be treated like VIPs. And it's only for them. It's not open to the public, and they've paid to reserve the whole venue, the staff, the everything that goes with it. And
Mhm.
I mean, we made great use of that space in
We did.
Vaughan.
I miss Vaughn sometimes. But
I
you know what?
do sometimes.
You mentioned corporate events, and I should mention too, just for those of you that don't know, all those corporate guys out there, we do have corporate packages as well. So just like a normal package, and oftentimes I think with corporate packages, we'll even give further discount. But it
Mhm.
is something you can set up, whether you're sending in business associates or your golf buddies, have a package ready under your name to treat your friends. What better gift to give than the gift of Muse?
Oh, you know what? International business guys are the best about that because they really want to treat their associates. If they're flying all the way here from Europe or something like that, they're making the trek already. So
Mhm.
they want to be able to do something that rewards, a deal signed or something like the handshake and then let's go celebrate kind of brings me back to like Succession, Suits, like all those like corporate kind of shows where men exchange favors the funniest
They
ways,
do.
right? Ways that we don't. But not like, you know what? I really appreciate your work this week. Go get your clit rubbed out at this great place I know. We do that, but dudes do. And
Mhm.
instead of meeting at the strip club, why not something a little more elevated, a little more one-on-one, guaranteed orgasms at the end, a
Mhm.
little bit of luxury, and go like thank your staff or thank your associates or introduce them to the joys of Toronto, whatever it may be. It's a very cool gesture. I love when we see it, just like all the suits walking in, and I'm like, oh, hello, gentlemen.
Well, and I
Did
think
someone?
the pod has helped us in breaking that stigma because more and more are we seeing this happen. And I think it's amazing, and not just from a business perspective, but just as a
Yeah,
society that it doesn't always have to be the strip club over alcohol, and naked girls, that there's other ways to do things. And they feel comfortable referring. Again, it is upscale. So you're sending them to something that's properly represented, that you feel proud to send your coworker to, or your boss, or your business associate. But I love that stigma is changing and people are more comfortable to do that now.
absolutely. I'm convinced that what's next is like couples doing the same thing. If we get an
Hmm.
inquiry for a couple, they're like, we want to do something really special on our anniversary, and some of our swinger friends have never been to a parlor either, and we want to do this whole like shebang, then why not a place like Muse? Because at a
Yeah.
swingers club, sure, there's like, different rooms with beds, but you're not necessarily all going to be together. Or there's going to be other patrons that are just kind of all over the place, like in the mix. What I like is that this can be by invite only. And so it gets super VIP. You have to know
Mhm.
the secret password to get in. It's just the way it is. And like that to me is top tier living. I'm just convinced. I want everything with a valet and a password. That's just how it
Right.
should always. So why not come and do up something like that? Because I find, especially if we're talking about swingers, sometimes it can seem like a sensual massage might be kind of vanilla compared to how they
Mhm.
live their life, right? But one of the main successful things about couples that are swingers is that they come back to like home base. They come back to their partnership, just the two of them come together, leave together, those kind of vibes. And so a sensual massage can kind of bring them back to basics sometimes,
Mhm.
and like the eroticism of the little details, or not like the big gangbang or like a big swap or a whole scene. You can be like, you know what, we really just want to reconnect with ourselves. Well, maybe there's
Mhm.
other couple friends that you have that are in the same kind of boat, same position or circumstances in their, journey through the lifestyle. And or maybe you have couples that you just really click with and y'all
Mhm.
haven't been able to find a place where you can just play with all you guys. That's not always possible in a house like the 70s with the
Mhm.
swinger, like house parties. Most of us have kids running around and things to do, and nobody
Right.
has an empty house, right? So whose house is going to be the victim of that?
Right.
Why not rent out a venue and a space where you can really enjoy that kind of play? Again, all the doors would be open because there's no pedestrians, no civilians, no other guests. And
Mhm.
so you can kind of be in and out and mix and match with different Muse girls and what have you. Pull all the tables together, whatever kind of scenario you want. It's your space for the
Yeah.
time that you rent it, and really create this playground where you can enjoy all the features of our facility, the big showers and some of the kink tools and the furniture, and just make a whole freaking out of the whole thing. Listen, clearly you know where my mind's going, because I'm like, I would sign up for that. I would
You would.
totally, that would be like on my birthday wish. Like, can we do that thing again?
Yeah, you would. But I think
I
it's
think
really
it'd be
cool to let
fun.
people know about, because I don't think some do. I think they come in for the 30 minutes and they know there's a mixer and maybe like a duo session, but go beyond that. I mean, really, we can create any fantasy. And I'm sure there's
Anything.
some that are coming down the pipeline we haven't even thought of yet.
Absolutely. That's the best part, is whenever we think we're out of creative ideas, it's
Mhm.
the people that bring us the best ideas or the
Yeah.
inspiration that sparks an idea. And I'm just thinking like things like 50th birthday party, something that's like you only live once kind of vibe, retirement when you're like, I just left my career of, 45 years and I'm ready to just fucking celebrate and do something for me
Right.
because the pressures of life are gone, or like something that's really why you would want to spend. I mean, it's a big ticket purchase, right? To be able to create that kind of experience for you. I think it should be something that's worth celebrating. And why not let us bring not just that celebration, but celebrate with you so we can
Yeah.
enjoy your excitement about it and really kind of send you off into the next phase of your life with a literal bang.
Mhm.
There's no better way. I think it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
My mind is racing with ideas now, Riley. Do you know what we need? We need a big screen TV somewhere, like in the hallway, like pull down, throw some porn up on there, get a DJ one day,
Mm.
real party out of it. I mean, honestly, guys, we could create whatever the heck you want. Slip and
Yeah,
slide down the hallway.
that would be
So
fun.
much. Newer slide all the way down, top to bottom. The Muse Mile is going to get de-virginized real soon. I can
Mhm.
see it.
So cool.
So I think the moral of the story is, if anyone has any requests, we're clearly the people to talk to. We are little magic makers in this regard. I feel very like Cinderella. Like, we'll sew the dress, we'll make it happen. You'll be at the
Mhm.
ball. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I love it. And that note, I'd say don't comment below with your requests. Email us directly with your requests to make that kind of fantasy happen. But if you have questions, by all means, drop it in the comments. DM us on social media. Follow us on the channel. Share the videos, like, and subscribe. And I think we'll see you next time on Muse on the Mic. See you
Bye.
guys.